Hi, my name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today I want to talk to you about being a know-it-all. I want to talk to you about being a know-it-all and how it really puts us in the space of overwhelm, frustration, and really anger. Let's just go ahead and say that, because that frustration and overwhelm really does lead up to that anger. So I want to talk about it in this respect. I want to talk about it, and one thing that I promise to do, and that I do better now that I get older, is I'm a little bit more candid, and I just tell my truth. I don't claim that it's anybody else's, but I want to tell you what I know, or the truth as I know it, in as much as I have experienced it or been exposed to it. And the truth is, your thought of knowing it all is is the main reason that you are feeling overwhelmed. So often what I do with what it is that I do, one of the biggest complaints that I hear from moms, especially those who are looking to start a business, or really just, you don't even have to be trying to start a business when you're a mom. You can just feel overwhelmed. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of things to do. I'm not saying that you aren't pulled in many different directions, but I am saying that you coming off as, or you thinking you know more than your spouse, significant other, whomever else is helping you raise your children, can throw you into overwhelm. And the reason that it does is because you give off this vibe, or you even say literally with your words to this other person how you can do something better, or what it is that they should be doing, which is implication that you know better than what it is that they're doing. So what they do in turn, I see you're understanding what I'm saying here over on Periscope. So in turn, what they do in many cases is, opposed to arguing with you about you not being right, they'll simply give you the task, the kid, or whatever it is, the obligation to do, because they don't want to hear your mouth. And the truth is, we don't know everything. We don't know how everything should be done. We don't know how to do it better than everybody else. It's not that our way is better. It's just different. And we always having to superimpose our opinion, superimpose what it is that we think is better, just simply says that we think we can do everything better than them. And that is not the truth. Okay, so let me give you an example of this personally. Okay, when my girls, we have 3 children. Hey, Vanessa Weatherly over on Facebook. We have 3 wonderful girls. And my husband, I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband really enjoyed spending time with the girls when he came home. He is and was a highly involved dad. And I mean, as soon as he got home, he used to always get the girls ready. I want to take them with me. Get the girls ready. You know, we're out of here. Well, I didn't ask many questions. I always felt like they're just as much his children. Hey, David Kennebrew over on Facebook. I've always felt like they're just as much his children as they are mine. So let me give you this one specific example of the type of pushback that I received from fellow moms and just other people out there. But anyway, so Gerald used to have, he would get our girls. Well, Gerald really enjoys nature. And so Cherie over on Facebook. Well, Gerald really enjoys nature. And my middle daughter, she was deathly afraid of bugs, right? I mean, she would scream, shake, holler, all this kind of stuff. Well, that was really contrary to who Gerald was, especially loving nature and him having the girls all the time. They'd be outside. But for some reason, she was. So Gerald's remedy to that was taking them into the forest preserve. We lived near one when we were in Chicago at the time. He would take them out to the forest preserve, and they would be gone sometimes for hours. They'd come and go do whatever it is that they wanted to do. I'm not that kind of mother. I don't do forest preserves and all that kind of stuff, so I would gladly allow him to take his children with them, and they could be gone for as long as they wanted, right? So when the children would leave, me being a mom, I think this is just indicative of us sometimes. I had girls, so you know, you want them fresh. They got their pigtails fresh, ponytails. Anytime they were leaving out with dad, just want to send them out with their best foot forward. When I say they will come back filthy, disgusting, dirty, I mean dirt in their ears, on their neck, on their face, in their hands. It would be a whole mess, you all. But they would be just as happy as they wanted to be, right? They would come in so excited. My middle baby would tell me about the bugs she saw and how they don't harm anyone and all. It was just really, really enjoyable for them, right? Well, here's some of the feedback I used to get with moms, because many times when they would leave, I would go, right? I'd go get my nails done, go to the mall, go sit down somewhere, just go for a drive, whatever it is I wanted. When people would see me out without my girls, in particular people who I even knew, when people would see me out without my girls, very often they would always ask me, where are the kids? And I'd say, with their dad. I'd get responses like, girl, why you leave them with them? Where did they go? And I'll say, I don't know. What you mean? Why would you do that? Well, while that's funny and we can look back on it now, I always look further into things and what implications those lead to. That implies that I needed to monitor or watch out for what it is Gerald did with his own children. I didn't need to put my hand in that. He's just as much their dad as I am their mom. And when I want to step my toe into something that he's doing, it's implying that I can do it better. And I am not interested in out loving him with his children. I'm not interested in out showing the world that I love my children just as much as their dad loves their children. I don't have anything to prove. So me staying out of that part, and I know that this is a simple example, but I just want you to understand what things implicate and insinuate and what you're giving off and how you're contributing to the overwhelm, how you're contributing to the frustration in your life, and how that overwhelm and frustration is leading to your anger. Okay, if that makes sense. So I had to quickly understand and remedy the fact that I don't know everything. Whatever it is that he wants to do with his children, he is more than welcome to. Here's what I knew going into that he loved his children just as much as I did. Sorry, it's my phone, guys. That he loved his children just as much as I did. I trusted that. I let it go. So what it did is it took a lot off of me when it came to the kids. I hear a lot of people saying, how do I wind down? How do I unplug myself? You can unplug by unplugging. And when you unplug, if something goes different than what it is that you thought it should go, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just different. And let it be that way for that moment. I hope that makes sense to you. Now, that's all, of course, a personal example, and I got into talking about my children and my husband, all that kind of stuff with that. But I also want you to understand that that, again, trickles over into business, because how you do anything is how you do everything. When we're talking about our businesses and thinking that we know everything, guess what that leads us to doing? That leads us to over-talking. When you're over talking to a client or to a prospective client, or you are just, even in terms of advertising and things like that, once you start doing that, you start to feel salesy. People feel pitched to. And when people feels like it's salesy, it begins to feel sleazy, because they're always feeling like you're always asking or wanting something from them. You have to have some type of resolve in who it is that you are and what it is that you do in order for people to feel a level of comfortability with you, and they choose to come to you as the subject matter expert. That's how you organically grow your business. That's how you organically attract customers. You don't have to always vie for someone's attention. You don't know it all. And there's a strength in saying, I don't know how to do this, but doing the best you can with what you have and being open to everything else. So I hope that makes sense. Am I making sense? I see a lot of movement over here on Periscope. Thank you so much for all those hearts. That lets me know that at least you're understanding what I'm saying. You see the correlation of what it is that I'm trying to link up for you. And I want you to understand how important these topics are to me, because while I come on here with everyday things I believe that we go through, I want you to understand how it affects the larger part of your life, how it's affecting you in terms of your forward movement of your goals, how it's affecting not only your goals that you are listing or the things that you're going after, but most importantly to me, it's affecting what I call your goal achievement. Because we all have goals that we write down, but the goal is to achieve those goals. And I'm always looking for the route, not necessarily the quickest route. Of course, quickest would be best, but I'm always looking for the route with the greatest ease. That's when you know you are doing what it is that you've been called to do, because there's the most ease and enjoyment in that. And if I can show you how to eradicate some of that frustration, some of that overwhelm, some of that angst, some of that anger, I'm telling you, it will free you up to achieve those goals, and it comes with a lot more ease. So I hope this made sense for you. If you have any questions or anything like that, definitely shoot them over to me if you're here with me live. If you're watching the replay, love the comments and questions that you send over to me or email me. Thank you here on Periscope. Thanks everybody here on Facebook. I see everybody joined in. But I appreciate you joining me. We are headed into March, and I promised that I would do these every day into March. I think from the time I started in January, I missed just a couple of days. So I wanted to make sure that I made them up here in March. So March will start to dwindle some of these daily periscopes, because I do have a lot going on in terms of clients and my business and just growing and things like that. But I hope you will definitely still follow me. In as much as I can, I'm definitely going to get on here, and I want to hear from you what it is that we want to talk about, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you content of value, and I want to share with you things that have helped me to grow my business, to be able to stay at home, to be able to leave my job, and to really just be able to live the life that I want. I love my location freedom job. I'm going on vacation in a few days, and it won't stop money from coming in. It's really a good life. So I want to share that with you, because I truly believe we can all win. So you let me know what works for you. Over here on Facebook, you said, hey, I like the part about letting the kids go with their dad. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing that I always think about with that is, it's almost like it feels like a revelation, right? Like, yeah, they should be able to go with their dad. But we don't really give each other the space or to do what it is that we feel like is best. We always are trying to superimpose what we think other people should be doing. And I think that there's no greater waste of time than doing that. You just do you, right? So me feeling like my kids should be with their dad, or I didn't have a problem with that, or I left no explanation for people who would ask me about, why are the kids there or things like that. I got a lot of flack for that. I got a lot of flack saying, he doesn't know what he's doing. Get those babies. Girl, what are you doing? Or they would show back up home dirty, filthy like that. And they'd come in, and I may be in the bed or whatever. They just have to wait till I got there if dad didn't do it. I couldn't bother myself with that. And, it was like, oh, you should get those kids. Those children were just fine. Those kids were just fine. They were happy, which was really my goal. It was not about me showing the world or other people a certain way of being. It wasn't about me showing them a certain image of how my family showed up. It was about how we felt as a family. It was about what we enjoyed doing. So if that meant they came home and were filthy, nasty, dirty, so be it. They had a good time. It was nothing a little soap and water couldn't change, right? So that's how I felt For a minute, I fell into the realm of what other people thought, and I tried to live up to that. And I surrendered what it is that I thought to what other people thought I should be. But I don't have that issue anymore. And I'm telling you, the other side of that is something like amazing. That's why I leave you every single time we're on video, or every time you hear from me, I leave you with the same thought every single time. And I'll actually do that now as we transition out of today's video. It's time to move beyond everyone else's expectation of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be.